Yeah, record.
Hello and welcome back to IBDA Movement. I hope everyone is doing good. Sorry for being lost, and we're back again with IBDA and with a new topic. As we all know that IBDA Movement is a youth-led climate-centric community platform that offers virtual climate education and advocate to youth in the Horn of Africa's countries like Eritrea, Somalia, and Ethiopia. The movement also creates a dedicated website and uses Zoom platforms and YouTube to educate the youth about the environment and the impact of climate change. And also, the movement is hosting in person and online events using mixed media approach, including social media, podcasts, to educate the youth about the challenges of climate change in the environment of in countries like Somalia, Eritrea, and Ethiopia.
The movement was jointly initiated by me, Ibrahim Buro from Somalia, and my partner and co-founder Delina Samara from Eritrea. Both of us are alumnus of YALI, RLC East Africa Cohort 49. We came up with this idea after multiple research and a baseline survey that we carried out across the countries of Somalia, Ethiopia, and Eritrea.
Exactly. And in today's session, we shall be discussing about waste management practices or the lack thereof, and that can indeed contribute to climate change in the Horn of African countries like Somalia, Eritrea, and Ethiopia. While specific data and statistics for these countries may vary, but there are some ways in which inadequate waste management can have environmental consequences and contribute to climate change. One is methane emission from landfill. When organic waste decomposes in landfills without proper management, it produces methane gas. And methane gas is a potent greenhouse gas with a significant higher global warming potential than carbon dioxide itself. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on the Climate Change (IPCC), methane has a warming effect over 25 times greater than carbon dioxide over 100 years back. And also, improper waste disposal and lack of landfill gas capture systems can lead to significant methane emission contributing to climate change.
Number two is open burning of waste. In some areas with some insufficient waste management infrastructures, open burning of waste is common practice. When waste is burned openly, it releases a carbon dioxide and other harmful pollutants into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is a major greenhouse gas responsible for climate change. The burning of plastic and other waste materials can also release toxic material and particulate material that have negative impact on air quality and human health.
Exactly. And the third one is the deforestation and land use changes. One is improper waste management can lead to unsustainable practices such as opening, dumping, or illegal waste disposal in forests or natural areas. Clearing land for waste dumping sites can contribute to this deforestation and land use change, which reduce carbon subtraction capacity and leads to increased carbon emissions.
Number three is soil and water pollution. Inadequate waste management practices and adequate waste management practices can contaminate soil and water resources. The leachate from landfills, which contains toxic substance, can seep into groundwater or nearby water bodies, polluting them. This pollution can harm aquatic ecosystem, affecting biodiversity and disrupting natural carbon cycle.
Exactly. And the other one is waste generation and composition. Rapid population growth, urbanization, and changing consumption patterns have led to increased waste generation in these countries. And the composition of waste is often included a significant portion of organic materials such as food wastage and agricultural residues. When organic waste decomposes in an anaerobic conditions such as landfills, it produces methane, a potent greenhouse gas.
Another factor is the methane emission from the landfills. In an absence of proper waste management infrastructure, such as waste generated in this country ends up in the open dumps or poorly designed landfills without appropriate waste containment system and a gas capture mechanism. methane generated during the decomposition process is released directly into the atmosphere. So methane emission from landfills contribute to global warming and climate change.
Exactly. And the other one is limited recycling and resource recovery. Inadequate waste management practices often results in a lack of recycling and resource recovery systems. Valuable materials that could be recycled or repurposed, such as plastic, papers, and metals, end up in landfills or open dumps. This leads to a higher demand for virgin resources, including energy consumptions and greenhouse gas emissions associated with resource extractions, processing, and transportations.
So another issue, Delina, is the energy generation from waste. Proper waste management can contribute to climate change mitigation through the generation of renewable energy. Waste to energy technology such as aerobic digestion and incarnation with energy recovery can, convert organic waste into biogas or electricity. These processes help reduce methane emission and provide sustainable energy sources, reducing reliance on fossil fuel.
Exactly, and not to forget, of course, health and environmental impacts. So, inadequate waste management practices can have indirect climate change implications. Open dumping and burning of waste release pollutants and contribute to air pollution and respiratory illnesses. These health impacts can indirectly affect the population's resilience to climate change, as vulnerable to communities faces increased risks for both environmental pollution and climate related events. So, Ibrahim, to address these challenges and mitigation the climate impacts of waste, efforts should focus on improving waste management systems. This includes investing in infrastructures, for waste segregation, recycling facilities, composting, landfill gas captures, and promoting sustainable consumption patterns. So international organizations, local governments, and community-led initiatives like us can also collaborate to develop and implement comprehensive waste management strategies tailored the specific need and context for these countries.
Exactly. Also, if we try to address the impact while specific data and statistics for waste management impact on climate change in the Horn of African countries of Somalia, Ethiopia, and Eritrea may be limited, we can still provide some general insight based on the global trend and regional consideration. It's important to note that obtaining country-specific data may require some local studies, and it might be hard in that sense. Nonetheless, we can still provide some waste management, ways. It has an impact on climate change in the region of the Horn of African country. As usual,
Exactly.
number one is
Mhm.
methane emission.
Yeah,
Inadequate waste management practices, such as open dumping or poorly designed landfill without gas capture system, can lead to significant methane emission. According to IPCC, methane is a potent, greenhouse gas with warming potential over 25 times greater than carbon dioxide over the past 100 over so landfill are estimated to contribute around 18 can help reduce methane emission by capturing and utilizing methane for energy generation.
exactly.
Number two, Delina, I think is carbon
Uh-huh.
dioxide emission.
Yeah,
So improper waste management release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Carbon
yeah,
dioxide is a major contributor, as we all know, to the climate change. According to majority of greenhouse gas emission, open burning not only releases carbon dioxide, but also other air pollutants that impact, air quality and human health. encouraging proper waste management, including recycling and controlling uh, incinerations with energy recovery can help minimize carbon dioxide emission. Delina?
Exactly. So, also to add from what you have been saying about the impact of waste management could be deforestation and land use change. So, inadequate waste management can contribute to deforestation and land use change, which affects carbon substitutions and emissions. In some cases, Ibrahim forests or natural areas are cleared from improper waste disposal sites. Deforestation also reduces the capacity of ecosystem to absorb carbon dioxide, while land use change can release stored carbon into the atmosphere. So implementing sustainable waste management practices can help preserve forests and natural areas, maintaining their carbon sequestration potential. And the last one, but not least, could be soil and water pollution. And poor waste management practices can lead to soil and water pollutions, which can have indirect climate change impacts. Leachate from landfills can contaminate groundwaters and nearby water bodies, affecting ecosystem and disrupting natural carbon cycles. So soil contamination can also have an adverse impact soil health, reducing its ability to substrate carbons, and also implementing proper waste management techniques like composting and recycling can help preserve soil and water pollution, supporting carbon substitution to the ecosystem's health. So this is all about waste management, Ibrahim. What do you think, and
Yeah,
what can you say about it to have a nutshell?
exactly. Yeah, Delina, as you can see, waste management is something we can all, handle it. If you and me and the rest of the society, tries to manage a waste properly, I think the waste can be controlled, and it can be managed. Something I believe, and of course, our climate and our globe and our region will be safe from the effect of climate change caused by waste management. And so
Exactly.
that's why we call upon, the communities in the Horn of African country, to join the movement through the social media handles, especially on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is IBDA Movement, IBDA Movement. And also on Facebook, you can search us at IBDA Movement. Also we shall be creating our website, which will be at IBDA Movement again. So yeah, we also want you to subscribe and like our comments, and leave us your comments anywhere in social media that you use. And of course, yeah, we shall start trying, to be more specific and specialized topic. Soon we shall be hosting some guests, climate activists, young people who are concerned for their region and climate. We have much on the table for our viewers and our audience at large.
Exactly.
So
Exactly,
yeah,
Ibrahim.
that's all for
Hmm.
this topic, Delina, and I think we shall be doing this more deeply and continuously.
Of
Your
course,
last
we shall.
words.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ibrahim, for your time and consideration and for contributing what you have to IBDA movement. And again, thank you so much for our listeners, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and see you next time.